us being the difference makers. I'm not saying to be a doormat. I'm not saying to just let a man mistreat you.
Care about making money. I'd much rather admit that I was bitter, jaded, hurt.
Have a conversation with my father. This is Dr. Umar's biological daughter.
Never got married. He said, "Oh no, I never got married to any of those women." Is extremely flirtatious.
All that I am saying is let's be a part of the change and not part of the complaining women.
Welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get into this.
This right here is exactly what I'm talking about all the time. Apologizing and standing in the gap to black men. Us being the difference makers. I'm not saying to be a doormat. I'm not saying to just let a man mistreat you. Never. From a woman who was in a domestic violence relationship with a black man for 10 years, I would never say that. All that I am saying is let's be a part of the change and not part of the complaining women. Let's be a part of the standing up, having high standards, but speaking life into black men and not sitting there speaking about how bad they are and how they did this and how they did that. Because again, as a woman who was in a domestic violence relationship for 10 years, I know all too well how it feels to be disrespected, cheated on, and everything else. But I choose for that not to be my focus. I choose for me not to focus on just those men. I choose to focus on the men who need to hear our voices. I choose to focus on the men who need women to uplift them, to speak to them, to speak life into them, to speak into the king that's inside of them. That's more of the feminine trait that I have within me. So instead of me focusing on all the negative, because that's not going nowhere, sis. It's always going to be here. I'm focusing on speaking life into the men that's in my circle. I'm focusing on apologizing for my contribution to them thinking the way they do about women, and I'm focusing on the positivity and uniting the two of us. So thank you, sis, for that message. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, when times have gotten rough, right? That's when they think, oh, maybe I should be nice. Maybe it isn't all men. Men have been saying that for years. It's not all men. What have they done? Oh, how dare you say that? Men have heard that. What have men decided to do? I'll stay to the left. I'll stay to the right. I'll stay any way that's out of your way because I don't want the conflict, right? Men have gotten smart. Okay, you're there at the gym. I'll stay on this side of the gym. Or you're going to that gym and you have a problem with men just being human and being alive and looking, I'll go to another gym. Anything to stay out of the way. But what happens? It keeps coming back. So now you're talking like this. Is it because you're older? Because you look older. You look about 35 going on 40. You finally realize, hey, I may need to get a man soon. I need a man to become my husband. So now they want to say this. It's not all black men. But you know what? Too little, too late. It's too late for this talk.
It's too late. It's too late.
Because so many men are done. And they're never going back.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry, black man. Please forgive me. I didn't know, I didn't know. I didn't realize how trapped you've been. I didn't realize how you've been targeted and hunted, set up, lied on. I didn't know. And I want you to know that I apologize. I privileged my pain over yours. I did that. And there's no real excuse, but there is an explanation. Okay? As a black woman in North America, because that's where I live, I've been taught how to relate to you through white supremacy. And I never gave you the benefit of the doubt. I just took the images, the stuff that I heard my mama say, when wounded women were talking about you, and then I had bad experiences with black men. I painted you all the same way that the cops paint you. I'm wrong for that. Now, I am apologizing to you in two ways. One, as a black woman. Two, as a human being. Because what was taken from you was your humanity. Ever since slavery, ever since Nat Turner, ever since 1830, you have been criminalized. You have been positioned and targeted from kindergarten. By the time you're in the third grade, you're already set up to go to prison. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that they blocked you out of every type of trade so you couldn't make money for your family. I didn't know. I didn't know that the whole structure of what it means to be American is built upon your free labor for white structures, including the penal system. That you were designed to be the workforce for whiteness since you got here. And I didn't know that. And what's worse is I didn't look. I was so hurt by you that I justified my righteous indignation.
You know what's wild? I gotta say this. She's talking about guys that are targeted for crimes, things like that, right? But that's not most black men. See, you're pitting on what's happening with 10% of black men on all of black men. See, most black men are ignored. Those guys you're saying that are doing things for the penal system, that's a small percentage. That's not all black men. That's all of the fools that you want, that you desire. See, this is why apologies, black men don't accept the apology, because most black men aren't there. How about that? Think about that. Let's go deep down. Most black men aren't going through that. Most black men are working citizens, upright men who are painted a certain way. See, this is the thing. We're painted as villains and we're not doing those things. It's wild. Like, so who are you apologizing to? Pookie?
Because I was hurt. And I didn't look why you would hurt me. It never crossed my mind that you were hurt too. I don't even know how come well, actually I do, because you've been positioned as a criminal and as an animal, so I'm not even going to see you as a human being. I'm going to see you like they teach me to see you. And I fell for it. And I didn't look it up. I didn't look for the research. I didn't care. I was like, yeah. I mean, and I'm guilty of that. I did that to you. I didn't ask why you hurt me. I just was hurt. And I didn't look. I didn't see how you've been cornered. Every way. I mean, every way, every decade. From chain gangs to hip hop. You're always getting blamed for violence, but we never talk about the record labels. We never talk about distribution. We always talk about the artists. We always talk about the black men being violent. Well, you don't get to choose what gets on air. You don't get to choose what you get to sign. If you don't do it the way that they say to do it, then you don't eat. You can't. And we make it sound like it's a character flaw when it's a structural, systematic way of keeping you in bondage. And I'm sorry for that. Because I say I love you, how come
I gotta stop her right there. Because she's apologizing. And she's not apologizing to all black men. What about the black men who are ignored? What about that? Because most black men go ignored. Most black men are undesired. most black men aren't going through what you're explaining. So guess what? We're not accepting your apology.
Dear black men, you still benefit from the patriarchy. Your blackness does not erase your male privilege. Those privileges might be dampened because of your blackness, but you still have those privileges. Argue with something like a book, you might learn something. Signed, a black girl.
At least she's being honest. I can give her the credit on that. She's being honest. She's still slapping black men in the face. And you know what? We feel the same.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this. What's up?
But anyway, I can admit that I was hurt. I was hurt. I was really hurt. Y'all, I was hurt to the core. I still feel a little bit of it, but a lot of it's gone away. But I was hurt. So it's a lot of videos on my TikTok about black men that I am taking down.
What?
It's me.
What?
It's me.
I don't care about making money. I'd much rather admit that I was bitter, jaded, hurt. Okay? And that's what that was. It has nothing, it's not a true reflection of black men.
What?
That was me. That was me.
What?
It's me.
Amber was hurt. I'm not a lover girl no more.
Okay.
Hold the line. Hold the line. Maintain the discipline.
Please. Okay.
I feel lonely. I feel like I just need to talk to someone who will understand, and, well, that someone is you, John.
Okay.
That's exactly what's happening. Nah, baby, I'm not going to be able to do it. I try to take you serious before, but you blow it. And it's true. That's what men are saying. We're done. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. He should have played that song. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. Yeah.
It's too late to apologize. It's too late.
And I was happy. I'll be honest with you. When I departed in, what was it, 2015, man. Woo! The way I felt. Seriously. The way I felt. The ease. The comfortability. I didn't know I was going to a sort of paradise, right? Why was it a sort of paradise? Because without the drama, without the headaches. And before I left, I didn't get headaches and drama like that. But those little things in between, like women don't realize they're doing. Hear me out now. A lot of women, yeah, they'll be kind, they'll be sweet, but they don't realize they're not doing certain things, right? I don't want to get deep into it, but I'll tell you this. My wife does it all. That's what I got to say.
To have a conversation with my father, my biological father. Hey guys, so allegedly this is Dr. Umar's biological daughter. This lady is also stating that she also wants to find her other sister using the help of the internet. Now there's mixed points of view on this. Some people are saying, oh, this is fake. Some people are saying this is real because it shows that Dr. Umar isn't responding to her. Now this is all alleged because I ain't trying to be sued, but there is even more news allegedly that he has more children in Ghana. Oh, child. Spreading the seed. I ain't going to judge. Now, I mean, it's nice that she's trying to build amends with her biological father, but from his actions, it just shows that he doesn't really want a relationship with the daughter. You know, actions speak louder than words. You get me? This is also why you should be careful on who you take information from the internet, because they could be one way on the internet and another way in real life. That could be pros and cons as well, because some people say that if you're an entertainer, you're going to be more bubbly online than if you meet an entertainer in person, which I've heard. And there's another lady saying that Dr. Umar is very flirty, and even how she was describing her experience, not this person but another lady, this lady here, and apparently I think she works allegedly for him, I don't know, but she also talks about her experience talking to Dr. Umar. This is what she had to say. I mean, I'm gonna cut the most creepy part of the story time. I'm having issues playing the video. I will find a way how I can do the green screen with the video because it's on mute, but basically she has this meeting with Dr. Umar, and she's saying that she's asking.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop that right there because she's saying she's going to play the video, but I want you guys to see the video for yourself. But this is a shame. If Dr. Morris, like, I have no problem with Dr. Umar. Like, he says what he says. He wants black men to be with black women. I get where he's coming from. I don't believe in that. Of course I don't. But I get what he's saying. Like, keep the black race one, right? But if you're not being a father to your kids, not just sending money, because I send money to my son as well. But if you don't try to take part, like have him do things with you, at least attempt to, that's foul. If you're not attempting to be a father, it's kind of messed up. Like Dr. Umar, you're saying black love, but are you really giving black love to your child? That's wild. Think about it. Your children are not feeling the black love that you speak about. When you say, oh, don't get with that white woman. What about giving your children the love of a black father? Let's get into this video.
I've known Dr. Umar for 3 years. I met him when I was 24 years old. And this is a recent picture. We just met in June of last year. And we did discuss his children along with a few other things. We met up at Brandywine Diner on Concord Pike last year. And because he wanted to take me out to lunch, and I kind of wanted to talk about like, just have a conversation with him regarding like black content creators on TikTok and social media. So while we're talking, we talk about religion, we talk about racism in America, we talk about secret societies, because that was really my peak of interest. So we first started off by talking about why he was in Wilmington again. He's always going to his school in Wilmington, Delaware, because number one, he's being audited by the IRS a lot. When I first met him in 2022, he literally told me he was there because his accountant was caught stealing funds from the school. They were receiving donations for the school, and he was saying that his accountant was stealing money. So he had to fire that accountant, and the IRS was asking for proof, like where the money went. So he started commuting from Philadelphia to Wilmington, Delaware frequently, just so he could be at the school in case anybody shows up and asks why the school's not done or where the kids are at or what's going on. So when I met up with him last year, he was just coming back from the school when we had lunch. I guess the IRS is still asking him about the school because it's not done. Like, he's receiving money, donations, but there's no progress with the school. If you were to go up right now to the school, like, there's wooded boards on the doors, on the windows, there's weeds, graffiti on some of the buildings. Like, it's not in proper condition. There's no AC, there's no heating, there's nothing. Like, it's not, the school's not ready. When we were talking at the table, I started asking him a lot of private questions, like, were you married? Do you have any kids? He was telling me, yes, I have 2 daughters. One of them is a teenager and the other one is maybe 7 years old at the time. So the child is probably 9 years old. So he was saying to me that the mother of those girls, or the mother of, I don't know if it's 2 separate women or just one woman, the woman or the women are taking him to court for child support because he's not an active dad. He's not in their life. And he told me that as well. He doesn't visit them as much as he should. However, he visits his mom a lot, and she's in Philly. So I just was confused. I was like, how are you talking about being a pillar and how black men are so needed in families today, but you're not even an active dad? He was not an active father. He said it. He confirmed it. I can back this young lady up. He did say that. He was not going to be there. And on top of that, he was saying that he would like to, in the future, every 2 weeks out of the month, go to Ghana. He practices Ifa, which is African spirituality. And we were talking about that for a while because I'm kind of versed in it as well. And so when we were talking, I was asking him, I was like, so you never got married? He said, oh no, I never got married to any of those women. But he dated a lot. And I could tell that he was a playboy because he was very, very flirtatious. Very. And also I noticed too, his personality is much different in person than it is online. I'm not sure if it's because I'm a woman or something like that, but he's not as animated. He seems more hyped up when he's like on a podcast or online, really engaging. He was not as engaging in person. And I felt like that was interesting. I was having to ask him questions. He didn't really ask me questions. It's almost like we had lunch just for me to ask him questions. And I didn't really like that because it was supposed to be a back and forth discussion. And so we were talking about a variety of topics. He is extremely flirtatious. And that was the last time I met up with him, and probably
he has a problem. She said that about 3 times already. He's extremely flirtatious. He's extremely flirtatious. He's extremely flirtatious. Let's hear what she's saying when she said he's extremely flirtatious. Because I think that he has a big issue with that.
The last time, because it was very aggressive, because I'm in a relationship. And when I had met up with him last year, I told my partner, like, I'm going to go have lunch with Dr. Umar. He was like, what the f-? So he was like, yeah, go have lunch and come back and let me know how it goes. But y'all, before I go back to seeing my boyfriend, on my life, when we left, I gave him a hug. He was like, He said, the women got to have booty. And I was like, what? He said, you got to have booty. If I'm talking to you, you got to have booty.
What is going on?
Can you cook? I was like, yeah, I can cook. He was like, good. Good. So you can cook and you got booty. And he was backing up from me. He said, He said, business before back shots. Business before back shots. I wish I was kidding. I wish I was kidding. And mind you, I'm in a relationship. So I was like, what do you mean business before back shots, nigga? Like, what? So he's laughing to himself, and he goes back to his car because he was going to go back to Philly to go take care of his mom. And I was like, I can't see this fool again, because what do you mean business before back shots? No back shots are being given. What? Because business before back shots, whose back are you shooting? Because it's not mine. So extremely flirtatious. Very much so. I remember asking him too, like, are you and Sukihana like a thing? Because I know she's from Delaware too. I was like, do y'all, are y'all? And he was like, no, we're friends. That's my girl. You know, she got her own restaurant in downtown Wilmington somewhere. Sure. When you say to me, business before back shots, and you and Suki are just friends, highly doubt it, because you got a big booty too. Anyway, I say all this to say, this young lady is telling the truth. He is a deadbeat father, extreme hypocrite, and huge flirt. This is not the black man you think he is. He's loyal. He got a wife at home. He take care of his kids. He's not that type of black man. He is, he spreads his seed. He told me he only got 2 kids. I feel like it's more. He's not visiting his children. He's not paying child support. And these things came out of his own mouth. Okay? So I believe this young lady, and I just had to wait.
Wow. So he's admittedly a deadbeat dad. He likes to spread his seed. You know, he reminds me of dudes in the hood. When I used to grow up, I'm thinking now, is Dr. Umar a pookie? Dr. Umar's a pookie. He's a pookie and he's smashing Pookie-hana. He's a pookie smashing Pookie-hana. Dirty. He probably stink too. Like, think about that. Man probably stink. I don't know. I'm imagining him smashing Pookie-hana. It's just stinking. Let me go to the next video. Let me move on. This is wild.
Dr. Umar has 2 baby mamas, and he goes on everybody's platform shaming black men for being deadbeats. Just for y'all to find out that he is a deadbeat. Y'all been taking Dr. Umar seriously? When I be seeing these Pan-African men, black men that just be so pro-black, I'll be like, oh yeah, he ain't shit in real life. That man don't even take his own advice. He don't even go by his own rules. 2 baby mamas. He gets on everybody's platform shaming black men for abandoning their children, yet he abandoned his own. Why do y'all be shocked? I don't be shocked. I always took Dr. Umar for entertainment. I never took him seriously. I don't know why y'all did.
Dr. Umar been a panhandling, soliciting, don't take care of his kids Negro who just panders to people and tell them what they want to hear, especially women. We've known this for years. Man, pretty much all these dudes who get on here and preach pro-black family this, pro-black family that, don't practice nothing of what they preach. And if you look deep enough into their past, it's a trail of unpaid child support, multiple baby mamas, and children who curse their name. And this is coming from someone who exclusively dates black women. Man, all these dudes like Dr. Umar Johnson who get on here, talk about who athletes date, black queens this, black queens that. Any nigga with common sense know the play that you trying to run before you even line up in formation. You love black women so much, but you constantly keep making them single mothers and not taking care of your kids and not paying child support. You claim to love black women so much, but you won't tie your assets to one because that's the white man's paperwork. Dr. Umar appeals to insecure black people looking for a hero. A Negro who don't take care of his kids can't say nothing about the community. Nothing.
This is sad. I'll say why. This is sad. Because there probably are some guys who are stand-up dudes. So what happens is Dr. Umar is held in such a bright light that what does this guy say? What did the last girl say? What did the girl before that say? We don't take none of you serious. Anybody that's on the internet is not doing that. And that's not the case. But when you're somebody held in such high regard as Dr. Umar, who's not even doing right with the school funds, he's not doing right with his kids. He says black men date black women. He says don't date the white woman. He says this, and that. It looks bad on you, bro. It looks bad on you. Nobody can take you serious. So from this day on, and actually that's been the case with me. What Dr. Umar says, it goes again. I don't believe in what he believes in. I don't. I believe black people should be together. Yes. Not together as far as a relationship, as far as mindset. But the relationship thing, that ship has been sailed a long time ago. Right? Why has it sailed? Because it's been times where I've wanted a black woman and I had to be the hoodest of the hoodest. And I'm pretty ghetto myself. I'll be honest. I'm pretty ghetto. I'm kind of sort of like a Pookie in a way with the way I talk, but I've never been all the way there. And when I grew up, they wanted you to be there, catching charges, slinging drugs, like in a major way. I was the guy slinging drugs. I've sold weed in the past, but no, you had to be the guy going to jail. Like seriously, it was crazy. The stuff I seen, the mentalities I seen on some of the ladies growing up is like, you're bound to fail. You can't win in the ghetto. And a lot of these black communities, you can't win because it's really like that. But yeah, it's a problem. It needs to be stopped. I got out of that mindset. You got to free yourself from the mindset, especially growing up in New York City. You got to say, that's what I said to myself. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to. What am I doing? Seriously. But yeah, things need to be fixed. The mentality needs to be fixed. And it could have been someone like him, but he's not the one. And I say this, Dr. Umar, with these allegations on you, because they are true. I know they're true. Step to the back, bro. I just saw him the other day on Could Have Been Love with Drewski, right? I understand you're making money with what you're doing, and that's why you're doing it. But step to the back, bro. You have to. Guys, thanks for watching. I just want to say this. As far as black woman finally apologizing to black men, we don't accept. If Dr. Umar says, I'm sorry, and apologizes to black people, most likely we don't accept. Because most people realize it's definitely more to life than being involved in nonsense like that.